here finally revealed. We have a place to show our mounts. We have home instance little nodes that we can collect almost automatically. We can actually create lighthouses in whatever we want. And we can actually show off our armor and weapons inside of our characters, inside of the homestead. As well, we can actually show all of our alts, and they'll be dancing around in our homesteads waiting for us. Isn't that crazy? We're going to go through the video and see everything that it has and all the consequences that it might have. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Go to my Ko-Fi if you want to support me, and let's get into it. So let's go. So we have the video here. We're gonna go through all of it and dissect every part. Let's start it. This is from PC Gamer. I'll leave the link in the description as well.
I'm Phil from PC Gamer, and this is an exclusive look at Homestead, the new player housing feature arriving in Guild Wars 2's next expansion, Janthea Wilds. ArenaNet calls Homestead the most player-friendly housing system in MMOs. Your home will exist as its own instance rather than being one of a limited number of plots in a larger district. So unlike a game like Final Fantasy XIV, you won't get the same neighborhood feel, but the benefits should be pretty obvious.
And that is a very important point, because in Final Fantasy XIV, people really don't like the fact that you actually have to kind of buy your home. You have to like maintain it and pay it every like month. I don't know exactly how the system works, but this is just everyone's gonna get it, which is super cool considering the amount of features that this will have.
You don't have to enter a lottery to claim your land, and there's no chance of getting evicted if you don't regularly log into the game. Instead, you just get access to your homestead naturally during the campaign. ArenaNet didn't go into too much detail about the story of the new expansion, but your new home is related to its new faction, the Lowland Kodan. The aesthetic reflects their cozy cabin vibe. So obviously,
and this is going to be very interesting to see later on if we're going to get more homesteads. I'm hoping, because it's very interesting, and we'll look at it afterwards, but it does seem to be tied to the guildhall system. So I wonder if it also will be tied in some ways to the home instances, and next expansion maybe the home instances will have all of these features inside of them as well. That would be pretty cool, because yeah, I mean, it's nice to have this homestead, but it'd be nice to be able to go somewhere else and have a different vibe to it while also having a house, right?
the main draw with a player housing system is decoration, the ability to customize your space. But there are a couple of neat features built into the homestead. First off, they act as a sort of showroom for your in-game collection of skins and cosmetics.
And this is very important. This was the biggest thing that I was scared of. The point of, and a lot of people didn't get the home instance or housing part of the feature in Guild Wars 2 and MMOs overall, but I think that's the biggest thing, like showing off all you've done in the game, all the raids you've done, all the strikes, all the things you've collected, being able to show it to other people and have them in your house instead of just random collections in your game that you can't actually like show off all the time. You have to like switch characters or switch fashion. In this, you will actually be able to do it. Well, we're gonna see how. Very good.
For this playtest, ArenaNet provided me with a preview account full of characters, all of them named after members of the PC Gamer team. Here they are now, just hanging out.
All of the alts of this account are there dancing, waiting for him. I'm sure that you'll be able to do different things with them. Maybe they can just stand around. Maybe they'll dance. Maybe they can, do their daily activities. And for alcoholics, which are a lot of them in Guild Wars 2, as having alts is very, very beneficial. This is perfect. Now you can, he'll say it, but you can only get 30.
In fact, any alts that you leave in the homestead will appear when you visit with another character. Up to 30 can sit around at a time. There's even a little cave over here with a bunch more of them. Your mounts are here too. You can find them resting over by the stables, meaning you at last have a way to enjoy
Isn't
the
that
fancy
awesome,
jackal
guys?
skin that you got. Because let's be honest, how often are you actually using it in the game?
Oh my god!
You can pet the mounts. It's pretty cute. If you hop on
so
a mount,
cool.
it leaves you stable, even if an alt was sitting on it. And if we head over here behind the lumber mill and over to the pier, here's your skiff. It's a small touch, but having a home for your mounts and vehicles is a nice shorthand for cementing this as your own personal space. Okay, the fun little aesthetic touches are all well and good, but one of my first questions when ArenaNet was explaining the homestead system was about resource nodes. You see, Guild Wars 2 characters already have a little personal space for themselves. It's based in their starter cities, called a home instance. There's probably a bunch of players that have totally forgotten these even exist.
But there's also an insane amount of players who like build their home instances to and put all of the gathering nodes there to go every day and collect them for gold, right? So this is something that people have invested a lot of gold into, and they probably they wanted this to come to Homestead, and you can actually do it as well there, which is pretty cool.
But for some of us, it's a daily ritual to visit and gather materials from any resource nodes we've unlocked or purchased. All of those resources are now also available in your homestead, as are any of the cats you've discovered around the world and persuaded to move in with you. All of it just carries over. There's also a neat little new option that should make the gathering ritual a little less onerous.
This is very interesting.
To this box, there's just an auto-collect button, and it instantly completes any node attached to that building.
Dude, every node in the trading post now is going up in price. Because like that exact feature that you can just click it and it'll instantly just get all of the nodes instead of you going in there. It's super good. Now I wonder, because if you guys don't know, there is like this special gathering tools that will give you buffs every time you use them. I wonder if this will make it so those are not used, right? And you'll not get the benefit from that pickaxe or whatever. I will have to see, but regardless, I don't think I will use it because I already hate that. So I'm definitely gonna put my notes and I'm gonna click the button and I'm gonna get it instantly, and then I'm gonna leave because holy shit. You can set the glyph in the box. You can actually do it. Okay, so then forget it. You guys put the glyph in there, which also, honestly, it's pretty cool because it's kind of annoying to move around your pickaxes and your axes and all this other stuff with the specific glyphs from one character to the other. This way you can just, I guess, put it in like in your shared inventory slot, or maybe you can put it there forever and whatever, and you just click it on instantly and you get all of it, right? Which seems very good.
This function won't be available when Janthir Wilds launches. ArenaNet plans to add it during one of the quarterly updates following the expansion's release.
That makes sense.
Even in the short term, the resource nodes here are much more efficient than in some of the home
it says manage
instances,
glyph. I didn't
by
see
which
it
I mean
before.
the Grove. Over in this building, you will find the crafting bench that lets you create new decorations to customize your homestead. It's a completely separate system from the scribing profession used to decorate guild halls, but the benefit of that is it's going to be a lot cheaper to craft items.
I think that's the biggest thing. They probably didn't want like too much the convolution of the other profession, the guild profession. I forget the name. But you got scribing to be here and ruin the system for us. I do think it's like maybe I think it would have been better if you just merge both together and make scribing super easy. But I guess they don't want to do that. To be fair, and they'll talk about that later. All of these features that we're seeing here, they will kind of almost go through to the guild halls as well. So I guess they want it to be still guild halls to be a bit more expensive because many people can use them. So I don't know. We'll definitely have to see how this ends up working and how people perceive, handle this, this new crafting profession and how they handle the guild hall. If everyone goes to Homestead and no one goes to guild hall, they might actually make the prices way lower on guild halls. We're gonna have to see what happens, right? I don't think it's a bit early to tell.
You'll need to convert some of your materials into a new homestead crafting resource and then combine it with some other resources to add that decoration to your library. I should say here, this is an early development build I'm playing, so there are a bunch of placeholder icons and text throughout the build. Don't worry if you see a little digging sign.
Yeah, but that's a good point, Coulson. All of these things that they're showing here, they're gonna go up in price. As you can see, molten core as well. I was shown in the video. Because of this crafting being shown in the video, people are gonna start banking on all of these materials as everyone's gonna be using them for sure.
Deck crafting won't be tied to crafting XP at all. Instead, you'll unlock more advanced levels through the mastery system by earning experience in the expansion's new maps. Over 300 decorative items will be available when Janthir Wilds launches, with ArenaNet saying more will be added through festivals and quarterly updates to follow. In total, there should be around 800 decorations that will be craftable by the end of the expansion.
And you can already see here, guys, by the way that you actually use the things to decorate. You have multiple like little nodes that you can use to manipulate how the decoration will actually look.
Update cycle. The majority of these will be earned in game.
Make it smaller, make it fast,
yes,
bigger.
Some will be exclusive to the Black Lion Gem Store. ArenaNet stressed to me any decorations bought either with real money or by converting your in-game gold into gems will give you multiple copies of that item to place automatically, and also a recipe so you can craft as many of that item as you want in the future. If
And yeah, well, look, I mean, we knew that this was gonna be monetized. I think someone in chat said that maybe we're gonna get different homesteads in the gem store. I'm sure we will. And I think it's fine. Like as long as we have, free to play versions of it, as long as we have in-game reward decorations that we have had for guild halls forever. So I don't think it's gonna be an issue. We'll be fine. It won't be like pay to win or whatever. You'll have a little bit to spend in the gem store, but at the same time, a little bit to spend on the in-game as well, right? And also, there's a lot of these decorations that you get inside of the game that are purchased with gold or crafted with gold. So it will still, it could still give some money to ArenaNet if you want to swipe for gold or whatever, right? Even if you have some part of it that is actually, gameplay. Well, you have to do gameplay together, right?
If you've tried decorating a guild hall in the game, you'll know it's currently pretty basic.
Yeah, it's
you
pretty
grab
bad.
a decoration, place it on the map, maybe spin it around a bit. Really, that's it. For Homesteads, the entire decoration system has had a pretty major overhaul. For the playtest, ArenaNet dropped me into a homestead that one of the developers had already started to decorate.
Look at that! All was made there.
These
from,
houses
from the player.
here are built from various floor
Look at
tiles that have been repurposed as walls and roofing. The same with this lighthouse, which has been created from lots of individual pieces. All
Look at that,
together.
guys! That is the moment that I saw that I thought, man, this is insane. The fact that they could actually put all these different pieces together to make a lighthouse, like what? We're gonna be able to do anything, okay? Anything you want in this game, in this homestead. That is insane, okay? Like the possibility, like oh my god, like the possibilities here are endless, okay? It really depends on what people are gonna want to do, of course. But considering the fact that Guild Wars 2 communities, they are pretty creative. Yeah, I think we're gonna have a lot of content inside of homesteads. I think we might actually, we'll see if we can actually compete with the very interesting scene that Final Fantasy 14 has. But this will be very hinging on the way that you can access homesteads as a friend, if you can publicize them somewhere. And I really hope they nailed that down. We haven't seen that, and we don't see that in the video. I really hope it's easy to get inside of other people's homesteads and advertising them. Maybe an LFG. I don't know. But we do need that to go well, because the biggest things in MMOs, honestly, is the social interaction. And having homesteads right now, it's going to be a great thing, but they need to make it work, right? The ARP will go over 9,000%. Yeah, that's probably true. That's probably true.
Now when you go to place a piece and realize,
jumping muscles too.
Way too big, you've got some options to turn it into what you want. There's multiple skills on the menu that let you change the position, the rotation, the scale of the item. Decorations can even be moved into the ground or into the air or
Very
into
important.
each other. So with a little work,
look at that little guy, the little picture. You can just move it around how much you want.
You can even realign the pop-up arrows to be pointed at the map's global X and Y axis or locally based on the way the decoration is facing. And you can copy the scale and rotation of your last placed item.
Look at that.
So you can
even the eyes.
easily reuse tiles when you need to put a lot of them together for a desired effect. Even once they're placed.
Like, this is insane. And you know what? Okay. First of all, I want to say that I was very scared of this because I was like, oh my god, what if you can't do any of this? Thankfully you do, because like this could have been like a complete disaster if you couldn't like manipulate where to put things. But also, guys, you need to consider the fact that this will go to guild halls. And in guild halls, you have actual events that you can do to like fight each other, like, or do events, mount races, jumping puzzles, all these other things, PvP battles. That fact that this is going there as well is gonna be a game changer. And of course, they have actually updated guild halls during this year, and I think we know why now. So it's gonna be very interesting what the community will do with this. If they're gonna get some community events in guild halls. Probably not in homesteads. I'm guessing that in homesteads we're gonna have less people. We'll see, but yeah, it's gonna be insane. It's gonna be insane.
You can switch over to the modification menu and adjust any existing item, giving you some power to fine-tune things after the fact. There's even a new X-ray vision mode, so that you don't lose items into the floor.
Look at the quality of life,
just pop it on and you can
that is so
see a glowing item even if it's through something else, and it lets you remove it more easily. Also, if you just need a different perspective while you're creating, just turn into a bee. Fly around. I'm not the type of person who's going to go deep on creating some grand elaborate build, but even so, I had a lot of fun just messing around with the tools. Guild Wars 2's world map has expanded a lot over the last decade, so there's already a pretty broad set of decorations available. It's multiple regions and aesthetics. It's kind of fun to experiment with what's there, even if the result is just some garish dragon statue barfing rainbows. There are also a couple of new types of decoration. I really like these armor stands, which let you create a statue of your character.
Look at that.
You just place it down, interact with it, and it will copy what you're currently wearing. And then
you can literally put yourself with your fashion that you made inside of your homestead. All of your sets, they can go in like a circle around to show to other people. That is insane. That is so good. Fashion Wars, look, Fashion Wars is gonna, everyone's gonna be doing it. Everyone's gonna want to collect every skin in the game, and that is so good for MMOs because it makes you interact with every part of the game, in every content. That is so good for, you know, actually motivating you to be in the world, to motivate you to do content, and motivate you to be invested in your MMO. Holy fuck! It's crazy. It's actually very good.
It sets it to one of a number of fun poses. It
is a
feels
good
like
idea,
a fitting way to honour the true end game of Guild Wars 2, fashion. There's a matching weapons stand too, so if you want to fill your home with reminders of the many hours you've spent crafting legendaries, you're good. Naturally, if you're going to show off your collection, you'll need to invite your friends along. And
put
while
your
they're there,
legendaries, guys.
if you trust them, you can let them decorate your homestead too. There's a special permission in the menu
cool
that turns
thing
on
as well.
decorating, but it does mean that they'll have access to your library and can just place and modify things around the map.
Having that option is awesome.
With what I've seen. Player housing is one of the bigger features on the community wish list, and the toolset here should let more artistic players create some really cool, surprising builds. It's certainly a huge improvement over what's currently in the game. Although, if you are a guild decorator looking on in Envy, ArenaNet did say that the new decoration skills and placement options are going to be ported over to guild halls too. Really, for me, it's the smaller touches that I'm most excited about. A hangout for my ults, a stable for my mounts, and the ability to show off the weapons and items that I've spent time creating. I'm probably not going to spend hours painstakingly creating an entire village from the ground up, but I love the idea of having a space that celebrates my in-game achievements, whether that's through decorations that recognize some big end-game accomplishment, or just a massive statue that shows off some cool armor that I spent ages crafting. Guild Wars 2 players will be able to get their own homestead on August 20 when Janthia Wilds releases.
And look, I'm not gonna say, guys, okay? But fuck, I'm pre-ordering this, okay? You don't have to, but I am, because holy, this is insane. Like, I know that a lot of people don't like, what's the word? Homesteading, home instances and housing, but you gotta admit this is insanely good, right? If this was the only feature on this expansion, I'd be like, I mean, yeah, it's only one thing, but holy fuck, it's worth it. Okay, this is, the fact that they did this is insane. And we're also getting spears, and we're also getting Wing 8, and we're also getting like all the maps and the story. That is so good. I really think this is the kind of stuff that like makes people want to play Guild Wars 2. That they give them faith to play Guild Wars 2 and that the game is going to be good and that they really care about it. Like, this is the amount of polish and creativity that mounts had when they got released. Like, this is an old Guild Wars 2 expansion feature. And after Secrets of the Obscure, that didn't really have that, and it was kind of disappointing in a lot of ways. This is exactly what people needed to be, like, you know, to have faith in ArenaNet again. And I think that is super good, not only for the game, but also for the investment of the players. I really like it. I think everything here is way more than I would have ever expected out of a feature on a yearly basis. Like, if we're getting this year, what the fuck are we gonna get next year? Holy shit, that is so exciting. Oh, I really don't think this is a better moment to be a Guild Wars 2 player. It's very good. We're eating good, guys, and spears are great. Housing is great. Everything is absolutely top notch and way better than we've gotten before. I want to see what we're gonna get in terms of the raid and in terms of the story, and I hope that one goes well. And instead, in terms of the map, the metas, everything. I'm very excited to see that. 2024. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, it is the year of Guild Wars 2. So definitely subscribe to the channel, go to my Twitch to watch me live, go to my Ko-Fi, or join the membership on YouTube if you want to see me Well, no, if you want to support me and if you want to get exclusive content as well. And see you guys around. Love you all. Bye bye.